Hey guys!
So we have a little edit for you. We've now got our shit a little more put together. And we now have a little more information on where you can find our podcast. Becky knows this a little better than I do.
Yes. So we for sure are on iTunes at Muggle Talks. And I made a Gmail. So it's muggletalks@gmail.com, all lowercase. And I also made an Instagram page called Muggle Talk. It's at Muggle Talks.
Yeah, it's just at Muggle Talks, one word, lowercase.
Yeah. So follow us on Instagram. Follow us on. Is that it?
I think
that's all we have so
YouTube,
far.
You can subscribe to us on iTunes.
Yeah.
And then we will be making a YouTube channel as well. So for those of you who may not be able to listen to a podcast or would rather watch, we're just going to prop a camera up and film our podcasting sessions. So stay tuned for that information as well.
I think that's it.
All right, there you go.
Enjoy the next episode.
Bye. Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
We are back for our third episode
of Muggle Talk.
So exciting. So we don't have another drink of the week yet because we are doing a couple of these. We're still on our version of the champagne unicorn. We're on our second.
As CJ called it, what was it?
The fucking amped up version of that shit I drank at dinner. So, whatever you prefer to call it, reference the first, I keep wanting to say video because I'm thinking YouTube. Reference the first podcast if you want to get the recipe for it. Super simple, very delicious.
It's basically champagne and vodka, berry vodka.
Berry vodka and limes.
Berry? Is it berry vodka?
Yeah.
Or even berry vodka.
Some kind of berry vodka and lime and ginger beer. So you don't have to reference the first video, but or podcast, but do.
Because it's good.
It's probably on iTunes. We are not sure where it's going to be. We're telling Brandon where we're telling people it's at. But
he's saying maybe not, but wherever
it'll
Brandon
be somewhere.
puts it.
You should find us on our social medias, though.
Yes.
And that would tell you.
I'm on Instagram, but you have to request me because I'm in the school system, so I have to have everything on private. But if you're not one of my students, then I will accept you. So I'm on Instagram at Becky McBride, Becky_McBride, something like that. And CJ is on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube at C's Beauty Blog.
Yeah, so CS_beauty_blog on Instagram. YouTube, just C's Beauty Blog. If you find me on YouTube, you'll find me on all my other socials because I link them. So that's simple. And eventually I'll link the podcast, and that just will make life easier.
It's called Muggle Talk, so just look for that. So CJ.
Yes.
What is your least favorite holiday?
Oh, do I have an opinion on this one? So my least favorite holiday is Valentine's Day. Because I am, and I think this is pretty widely known, probably one of the least romantic people. In the sense of, like, it's not that I don't appreciate it. I just, it's not my thing. Like, it's not that I don't show affection towards people, but I'm not a super affectionate person. Like, I kind of live my life, and if I care about you, you know it. Probably. And if I don't, you definitely... Well, I guess I should say it that way. If I don't care about you or dislike you, you definitely know it. And if I do, I will... It's not that I won't make an effort. I feel like I don't necessarily know what to do sometimes. Because I don't look for that kind of thing. Right. Like, I don't need all of the stuff to know people care about me. I don't know. I'm kind of weird. I struggle with that because people
There's
want
so much
that.
of an expectation on the whole holiday, too, of, like, it has to be this amazing romantic thing.
Right.
When it's not even a real thing, you
know?
Well,
that's not really me. Like, I know that's one thing about me that Derek has had to learn is, like, I'm not a super, like, affectionate person. Right. I'm not super romantic. I show my care or love for people in my own way, and I know sometimes I might just feel like I'm just going on my life, but that's just like, that's me. I come from a very, like, I don't want to say sterile family, but we're not touchy-feely. We're not kissy. Like, we know our places.
Just not very affectionate.
Yeah, we know how we feel about each other, and that's that. So Valentine's Day, I just struggle with, and I think it's a little overrated, to be honest.
That's so funny, because Brandon and I, our anniversary when we first started dating is on Valentine's Day.
Right. So that has something then.
Yeah, and we kind of just picked that date because we weren't really sure when we started dating.
Right,
It was just kind of like I guess we're dating.
Yeah.
It just kind of happened.
Well, it was a supernatural relationship.
Yeah, so we just kind of like picked a random day because we got tired of people saying like, when did you start dating?
Right.
So that's kind of what we decided. So that's kind of nice because we just have turned Valentine's Day into our anniversary. So we just got to dinner. It just happens to be on Valentine's Day.
Right.
So we're not super like gross, cutesy about it. And hearts and stuff.
It has different connotations.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So what is your least favorite holiday?
My least favorite is New Year's Eve.
That's a good one.
Because I feel like it's just trying to extend kind of like the Christmas holidays.
Yeah.
And I just kind of feel sad, and I never have anything to do, and I never want to stay up that late.
We should do something.
Okay.
It'll be like an old person New Year's Eve.
Last New Year's Eve, I got so completely shit-faced.
Was that the one we had all the hard cider?
Yes, that's the one where I had all the... I was convinced because I was drunk that I needed to drink an entire growler of cider.
I could see where you would need to do that.
I don't know why. I was like, I have to.
You don't want it to go to waste.
I didn't. And because it's only good for like 24 hours in
right.
the growler once you open it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, we have to drink this. Otherwise it's going to go bad.
So you're being a good person.
I was. And it was so bad. It was so bad. And then the entire next day, I spent the whole day in the bathroom.
You really feel it when you get hungover.
I think I have an alcohol intolerance.
I could see that.
Because I will even have, like, a couple drinks, and then the whole next day I feel really nauseous. Just from, I'm worried about how much I'm drinking tonight. Because tomorrow, who knows? Although that was, like, an entirely different level.
It's stressful.
Yeah. But basically New Year's Eve has just never been, I don't know.
Yeah. I guess I struggle with that one, too. So it's not that I dislike that as much as Valentine's Day. With Valentine's Day, for me, I'm like, choke me with anything. I hate it. But New Year's Eve feels like it's it's a new year. I don't really know. It's a new year. Christmas is over. Holiday season is over.
Right.
It's literally just another day on the calendar. People are going to say a lot of things they're going to do. People are going to not do a lot of things in that following year. So it kind of just feels like it's a little bit of a, I don't know.
Yep.
It's kind of dumb. So I'll agree with you on that. That might be my number 2.
Yeah.
So, besides our least favorite holidays, we are going to be having a few episodes that are... I do a lot of traveling for my work. I do a lot of traveling. I drive a 55-foot horse trailer with a 25-foot semi. A baby semi, if you will. So I have a lot of stories, a lot of life experiences. Some are a little more enlightening than others. So, needless to say, there's going to be a lot of shit stories on our
I'm so
Muggle
excited.
Talk.
This is
a lot
my
of poop.
favorite.
There is a lot of poop. I don't care who you are. Everybody poops, but there's a lot of poop in my life. A lot of horse shit, a lot of people shit, a lot of bullshit. So just a lot of poop in general. So this story will be no exception. So what? 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, I was in Oklahoma. We went down to the NSBA World Show in the beginning of September. So it takes 4 days to get there because, like I said, we have a 7 horse trailer, 30 foot living quarters, 25-foot truck. So it takes us a little bit of time to get places. So the trek to Oklahoma from Oregon, that is a 4-day drive for us. Big deal. We get there pretty easily. We're there for 3 weeks, no problem. So we get ready to go home. Always the most exciting and most stressful part of the horse show. All the loading, all the logistics. So we're getting ready to leave. And just know my life has a lot of truck and a lot of trailer problems. That will be a constant. There will probably be a story while I leave for a horse show in October. So there'll probably be another story in October about the truck exploding or something. We've had that problem before. So this one was no exception. We get ready to leave. Our hydraulic jack on the trailer won't work. Literally, every time the woman I work for leaves, the truck and trailer give me the big fucking middle finger, and they go to shit. I don't know what kind of voodoo magic she does on them, but it's exceptional. So we go to leave. We're gonna it's like having an RV, like a little camper. You have to pull the slides in, you've got to hook everything up, unhook, do all that kind of good stuff. So we're all good. I have a woman named Marcy with me. She travels with me across the country. She currently doesn't have a job, so she flies in, travels with me. It's good to have somebody there in case somebody tries to murder me or just to have that little bit extra help. So we're getting ready to leave. I'm unhooking things, unplugging things. Marcy goes to put the poop away. Because there's a septic tank, right? There's a bathroom in there, there's a shower in there, you gotta put the poop pipe away. So she closes the things, I thought. Closes them, I'm like, okay, let me get... Well, no, I didn't put gloves on. I don't know why. So I didn't put any gloves on. I go to unhook the little poop pipe, and it's, there's stuff in there that didn't go. So you pull the pipe up, right? Gravity. You're gonna let gravity work. The rest of the excrement has to go into the shit has to go down the pipe, basically. So we're putting the poop down the pipe, we're holding it up and then let gravity do its work. Well, gravity's doing its work and it starts bubbling out the little poop hole. Oh, no. So you put, if you're not familiar with RVs, from your RV, there is a pipe, black and gray water. You connect a little flexi pipe thing and you put it into the sewer. Mm-hmm. The pipe, whatever, the poop pipe, basically. So the fucking poop pipe starts bubbling. Shit, literally, brown water is bubbling out the top. What follows this bubbling brown water is the smell. So we have this bubbling shit smell to which I drop the shit pipe, poop flies. Oh, no. Poop flies out the one end. Marcy is gagging quite severely. I'm gagging quite severely. How we didn't vomit, I don't know. It took us at least 30 minutes to just get the poop pipe unhooked. It was bubbling, it was coming out, it was disgusting. But I digress. We get through this. We spend an extra 5 hours there. Try getting a mechanic in Oklahoma on a Sunday. Praise Lord, I guess that we did, but that was a story. So we get out, we go down the road, check engine lights on, brake pressure lights on. Cool, whatever. Check the oil, plug the trailer in, says Shannon. That's good to know. Never works, but that's what she recommends. We get through Kansas, we get through Wyoming, we get to Ontario, Oregon, where we're going to spend our last night. I really drove hard that day. I'm like, we're going to push. We're going to push it. We're going to make this last day really easy. We're going to make the last day like 6 hours. No big deal. So it's quite common, probably frowned upon, but it's quite common if you have an RV to release the gray water, just kind of like wherever you are. It's just shower water, it's sink water. So it's pretty clean, right? Like it's shampoo, water, maybe some toothpaste, really no big deal. So I'm like, Marcy, we slept in a little bit, we got up at 5, slept in. I'm like, I'm going to release the gray water before we leave. Let's just super nice day, really relaxed. So I go around, she's brushing her teeth or whatever she's doing. I go around, I'm like, okay, here we go. So there's a little cap on the septic, and there's a lever for the gray water, and there's a lever for the black water. But all I was going to do, I was going to unscrew the cap, and I was going to release the gray. No big deal, done it 100 times. Well, I go to release this little cap, which this must be a waterproof cap. It's incredible. I release this cap, and all of a sudden I hear this whoosh, and I feel this thing on my hand.
Oh no.
And I'm like, that's really weird. I mean, keep in mind, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30 maybe, and the stuff is coming on my hand, and I'm like, what is this? Well, your senses aren't super, in sync that early, so I look down, because it doesn't hit me yet. I look down and I see these chunky things on my hand. I'm like, super strange. I haven't opened anything. And then, again, the smell hits, and right that minute, I start gagging like I have never gagged in my life. The smell, the sight of it, and then, like a milk jug emptying on the side of the road, you hear this glugging. Glugging of the poop just emptying all over this manicured grass that we had to beg to stay on. So the poop is glugging. The shit is on my hand. I have Marcy and my shit on my hand, which is raw sewage on my hand. I fucking lose it. Like, I'm gagging so hard. Marcy, mind you, was brushing her teeth. No big deal. She's like, oh, I thought I heard something, but I thought maybe I should hurry up and finish. Like, really, Marcy? So, if you guys haven't figured this out, Marcy never closed the poop pipe. She just left it open, and it was empty, so nothing was in there. She never fucking closed the poop pipe. So I walk into the trailer, I'm like, oh my god, Marcy, I have shit on my hand. She's like, well, did you close the pipe? No, I didn't close the pipe. Are you kidding me? I have shit on my hand. I've been gagging for 15 minutes. I have tears streaming out of my eyes. I'm gagging. I have poop chunks on my hand. Lord knows what's going on. She's on her period. So I don't know what is in this. I know what I've done to that poor bathroom. And when you eat truck stop food for 4 days, a lot of stuff happens to your body. So I know what I've done to that poor bathroom. And I smelled what Marcy did to the bathroom. So I go in there, I'm like, gagging. Like, I've never gagged before. Marcy's like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go out, we're gonna take the horse water buckets, and we're gonna, like, splash water on it. We're gonna try to, like, diffuse, get rid of the evidence, kind of dilute the poop. So I'm like, okay, that's swell. I still have poop on my hand. So I wash my hands. 4 times still not enough, but we're not there yet. We're like, okay, here we're gonna splash this water on the poop and trying to get rid of it. So I'm like, you know what? What the fuck? Why don't we release the gray water too? So I release the gray water. Maybe that will help a little bit. So we pour a couple buckets of water on the poop. It's dark out, so we're like, that's gotta be pretty good. And, well, Marcy decided to take her phone flashlight and look under the trailer. Bad decision. She goes, click. Flashlight turns on. Marcy starts gagging. Her flashlight hits the grass. I see it. There are still fully formed pieces of shit on this grass. There's shit chunks on the grass. There are chunks of God knows what on the grass. Marcy's gagging in the corner. I'm gagging against the trailer. We gag simultaneously. Grab the water buckets, go a couple more splashes. We come back. Again, I don't know why she decided to do this. Grabs the flashlight. Click. Gagging, vomit, gag. I gag and vomit. We splash some more water. I'm like, Marcy, we gotta get the fuck out of here. I'm not gagging anymore. I'm sorry, Andreas. You're perfectly manicured grass. I don't know what's gonna happen. So we get out of there, and we go load the horses. Marcy goes over again. I don't know at this point in time if she just wanted to see the poop. It was super gross. But she goes over, and I hear, again, the most severe vomiting gag sound I've ever heard in my life. And she comes bolting over with tears in her eyes with her eyeliner streaming down her face to tell me that the worms are munching on our poop. I'm like, Marcy, that's a good thing. Get rid of the evidence. Let's go. There's still shit on this lawn. We get in that truck, we leave. Because you know what? At that point in time, the poop wasn't going anywhere. We had dumped about 50 gallons of shit on that road grass. It was over. So, Andreas, who we had to beg to let us stay on the RV spot, I'm guessing we'll never let anybody stay on that grass area again.
Oh, poor Andreas.
He was worried about the truck squishing the grass. Little did he know that there was going to be giant human shit spots all over his beautiful grass.
Oh,
that's my shit story. Number 1. There are many more to come, but I'll save that for further episodes.
Oh, that poor man.
Poor Austrian Andreas.
That ruined his day.
There'll be so many stories. Just you guys wait.
I'm excited. These are my favorite stories.
Poor Becky always gets to hear it.
I love it.
And they're long.
I cry every single time.
They're awful.
They're wonderful.
In hindsight, they're the greatest thing I've ever heard. In the moment, they're either terrifying or death-defying. But, you know.
Okay, I thought we could end with talking about some of our favorite podcasts.
Yes.
To give some love.
I like that.
To the podcast community.
We're little babies, so we've got
yes.
a shout out to our icons.
So that maybe
Elders.
some of their fans will like us too.
Yes.
So I'll go.
Go.
So I have a few favorites, but some of them I don't really know. I just like listen to, but I am in love with Anna Faris's Unqualified. That's like the first podcast
I remember you telling me about that one.
Got into. It's awesome. Her whole thing is that she gives unqualified relationship advice or life advice to people.
I like that.
They have people that call in, and she gives advice to them. But she also has guests on, like celebrity guests and stuff. So that one's really funny. And then my absolute favorite is My Favorite Murder. And they were actually recently on an episode of Anna Faris's podcast.
Oh, wow.
And that's how I found them. But they just talk about their favorite murders, kind of like serial killer cases, cold cases, true crime around the country.
Oh, wow.
And then they also do like hometown murders from their listeners. Their listeners will submit their hometown murders and they'll read some of them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really, really funny. They're super funny. I love them.
That's super cool.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my favorite ones is actually on NPR, and it's called Invisibilia. It is a psychology one. So their second season, they talked about, they did a whole study on, I think it was emotions or something like that, and they did different aspects of emotions and case studies, and they go to places. One episode was about hypnosis, positives, negatives, and a case study about it. But it's really interesting because they go pretty in depth and they immerse themselves into whatever their subject matter is. Of course, since I have a skincare YouTube channel, one of my other favorite ones is called The Beauty Brains, and it is two guys. One I think is like a cosmetic scientist or something, and they actually break down and really talk about the nitty-gritty on skincare products, which I totally love. And then the last one I really want to give a shout out to is Star Talk Radio, which has Neil deGrasse Tyson on it. He's awesome. I think that he is very real, and he's a very legitimate scientist, and he talks about things from astronomy to just real life science, kind of everything in between.
What happens when you die.
Yeah, which I think is super interesting. He's super funny to listen to. It's very much comedy-oriented science, but they're also really interesting topics. So those are my favorites.
There's tons that I listen to.
There are a ton, yeah.
I listen to Lore and Heroic podcast, which is the woman Cassie Ho. I do her workout. She's Blog.
Oh yeah, Blog Lotties. Yes.
So she started this podcast called the Heroic Podcast, and it's just all about kind of female entrepreneurs.
That's cool.
Yeah. So they have lots of female entrepreneurs on their show.
I like those.
So it's really awesome. It's just kind of like a feel good podcast.
Right.
I also
feel like you learn things from those.
Oh yeah, definitely. And they've had some of my favorite artists on the show.
Oh wow.
Which is kind of cool. I also like Someone Knows Something, which is this guy. I haven't listened to much of it, so I'm still kind of new into it.
Right.
But he's live podcasting as he's investigating this death that happens in this small town. So it's really cool. So he's interviewing people in the town, and he's interviewing.
So it's you're there then.
Yeah, you're there, and you're experiencing it as he's investigating it and writing about it. And
That's super cool.
Yeah, so there's tons of ones that I love. So
I think that's it for this one, though, guys. This is podcast number 3.
That is it. This was all about CJ's horse show shit stories.
One of many to come.
One of many. And it's going to be amazing.
We will hopefully have this on, again, iTunes, maybe? Or elsewhere, depends. But we will chat with you guys next time.
Yeah, look for Muggle Talk.
Bye.
Bye.